Hi, this is Jonathan. Welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be a short one. There have been questions asked of why I'm so interested in the Harley Benton guitars and why I play Harley Benton guitars. I've explained many times that because of its affordability and as well as the quality of the guitars, I find that I can actually make it work when I'm working, especially when I'm going on tour, so that I would not, bring along my treasured guitars when I'm going on tour. As you know, a lot of stuff can happen during tour. But that's not the only reason why. As you all know, and if you have been a subscriber to this channel, you would see a whole lot of Harley Benton guitars that has gone through this little studio of mine. My first Harley Benton guitar was the Black Paisley, and the Harley Benton range of guitars, their prices range from 125 euros to 377. That's the most expensive Harley Benton guitars that you can buy. Which is the Fusion Pro. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, so correct me if I'm wrong. But within that range, you'll find a whole assortment of guitars that that you are either as a hobbyist, or a pro musician like me, to choose from. You can have all these wide varieties. The thing is that I bought these guitars because I was hoping to mod them. I'm not explaining myself. There's nothing to explain. This is my money, so I can do whatever I want. So do you. You have your own preference. Some of us we prefer traditional brands like Fenders, Gibson, and whatnot. And some of us are willing to take a chance on lesser known brands. to each his own. One man's meat is another man's poison. There's no right and there's no wrong. So for me, well, at least for me, I wanted guitars that look good, plays well. That's the most important thing. The pickups are the ones that will decide whether the guitar is actually playable. You can get a guitar that looks really good, but if it sounds horrible, then there's no place in it. Either in your gig or at home when you're practicing, because you would just like, every time you pick up that guitar, you go like, oh, So you would like to have a guitar that looks good, preferably, and sound good. So the guitars that I bought, they have their own distinct look. And I know a lot of you guys bought the same guitar as me, so what's the difference? The difference is the way it sounds. And that's why I did what I did. I spent a whole lot of money on the mods. I guess people would say that I'm kind of crazy because I spend more on pickups than I do actually on the guitar itself. But to find a guitar that plays well, especially in the neck, and especially how it feels with your body contour, it's kind of difficult. And I played Gibsons, I played Fenders. Fenders are really safe because I'm so used to the Fender shape and everything, and most Fenders I feel comfortable, but there are some Fender necks that I find really uncomfortable. And so far the Harley Benton guitars that I bought, they all feel really comfortable to me. I don't know what they do or they did. They probably had some real R&D going on as to how the guitars are supposed to be. Even though these guitars are manufactured in Vietnam, in China, in Indonesia, but the planning that goes before that, I could tell the difference. Like it feels good in my hands. Now the only thing lacking are the pickups that they use. So, but not all of them. The CST24T, for example, the black flame, they have really good pickups on them, as well as the EB-OCT, the Ocean Turquoise. Yeah, the Fusion Pro 2. Those pickups are really good. I like those pickups, and with the silver cover, that's the only guitar that I did not mod significantly, because the only thing that I modded was to add a PIO, Emerson PI paper in oil capacitor, and a tone bleed, a treble bleed, and that's all I had on that guitar. The guitar is mainly stock. The one that I did the most mod is the Fusion Pro. Well, this is a Model 1, right? So this, I really went to town on this. I changed all the pickups and did the PIO, the paper and oil capacitors, and took out the retainer bar. Remember those horrible things, and replacing them with rollers. And so the pickups are the one that matter the most, because they change the sound of the guitar drastically. And this guitar is the one that I enjoy playing every time, and I have no regret spending that the extra money on it. So again, I said to each his own, because you can never tell how a guitar would sound like after you put on different sets of pickups. And this whole experience for me since June or May last year, this whole process of changing pickups and modding and stuff like that, it taught me a whole lot. And especially, I started modding with the black Paisley, because I got the Seymour Duncan Hot Tally pickups on them, and it changed the sound drastically. And I used this guitar, this one, right? I used this guitar so much for my sessions, for my recording sessions, that I'm so impressed with the sound that it's one of my favorite guitars, even more so than the other Tally that I had with the EMGs. And as I was saying, this whole process of finding out stuff like pickups, frets, the shape of the neck, the pickups, what sort of sound, what sort of coil. These are all education to me, and I'm still learning. So if there's anything that I say that's wrong in this channel, please correct me. I'm not all-knowing. God is all-knowing. I'm not all-knowing. So it's a learning process for me. So I'm learning. I'm just learning what makes the guitar tick, what makes a guitar sound good, what makes a guitar so attractive to you that you just want to pick it up and play. whether it's an acoustic guitar or whether it's an electric guitar, you know, it has its own thing going. So this whole journey of mine has been very enlightening to me, because as a guitar player back in the days, you know, all I wanted was to get a good sound to rock on, and that's it. All I was interested in was to look good on stage or spandex, you know, with my hair and whatever you had back in the 80s, you know. So that was all I was interested in, and you know, playing the licks, you know, playing the solos that you would have to learn so hard just to impress the chicks, and you know, stuff like that, you know, and those are the things that are like, you know, prominent in my mind. Not and the tone, yeah, the tone has a part to play, you know, the tone of the guitar and what guitars you're using, but it's of a different nature. And now that I'm grown of age, I learned to appreciate how a guitar sounds like. So for some of you young players out there, you know, who are into tones, well, you know, kudos to you, because you started young, and that's the way to go. And for some of us who are still learning how to like appreciate tone, the tonality of an electric guitar, you know, it's a good place to start. You know, there's so many YouTube videos out there that talks about tone, but ultimately, in the end, it's about you. You know, what do you prefer? So for me, you know, if I have the finances, you know, of course I would buy all the expensive guitars, you know, but it doesn't make a difference, you know. It doesn't prove a point, because some of the expensive guitars that I've owned last time didn't sound really good, you know. So if I have the finances, I would, like, you know, probably spend some money on the cheaper guitars, or rather the affordable guitars, and find out what I can do to that guitar. And you know, all these Harley Benton guitars that I own, I'm not going to sell any one of them. They're keepers. You know, I'm keeping them because they are really great guitars right now, because of the money and investment that I put into it. They become my guitar. You get what I mean? It's like, it's my guitar. It's like customized. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to tell you, and have a little insight into what my thought process is in regards to Harley Benton guitars, or you know, the affordable guitars. And there's another question they always get about this spoon in my coffee cup. Yeah, it's in the shape of a wrench, but it's actually a spoon in the shape of a wrench. Now, don't ask me how I got this. My wife bought this, so I'm sure you can find this in AliExpress, or you know, in some of the channel websites. You know, they probably saw this. So, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you want to join this channel, please feel free to go ahead, and I'll see you again in the next video. So in the meantime, you guys take care. Ciao.